What's up, guys? Welcome back. Well, I think I've finally done it. I've gone way too far into the rabbit hole and found a new setup that I'm totally in love with. It involves two smaller wattage Fender combo amps. I'm able to get my tight bottom end. I'm able to get my distorted tone. I'm able to get my cleans. And I'm just really sold on it. I want to share it with you guys, and I figured I'd give you a little rig rundown for 2019. So we're going to get into it. It's really wild. I'm going to cover speakers. I'll cover tubes, cables, strings, whatever I can. But I just want to share this tone with you because I'm so pleased to get the amount of textures I'm able to get with just this small combo. So check it out. So I figured we could launch right into this, and first things first, I'll get the pedal board out of the way. Really small board using a pedal train Junior, I believe it is. And coming into the board from my guitar, I go into this Keeley looper that I'm basically just using as a splitter box to go into the fuzz first. And this is somewhat of a signature fuzz that you're not supposed to see yet from DanDrive. And you're going to hear this thing later on in the video, and it's blown my mind. With other fuzz faces too, you know, I will use my staples, my King Tone fuzz. I have both the germanium and the silicon here. And both of those produce great tones. But I've been testing this thing for the last hour or so, and I'm really pumped on it. Coming out of the fuzz, we'll go right into the Octaland. Killer Octavia pedal that I usually set about right there. Get your hands on these because they're going fast, and Jesse did an amazing job with this pedal. Really captures the Band of Gypsies type tone, stays warm, stays fat. You get a tone knob on there, which is something that we've all strived for. So there it is right there. That's the one for me. My Dunlop Octavio cheese wedge has come off the board for good. Out of that, we go right into the old Crybaby wah that I did a video on a couple of weeks back, just modding it. Did a little more work on this, and I really got this thing working the way I want. And then out of there, we come into the Blues Power. Now, this pedal is actually crucial to my setup in this video, and I'll explain how. Okay, so running these amps, both on 6 and 7, can get quite loud. And luckily with this Blues Power and the built-in EQ it has, I'm able to get my same amp tone breakup and just soften the volume a little bit. So kind of using it as an attenuator in a way, but also using it just to take the harshness off the edges of the natural straight-in tone. I don't add any more distortion. I don't add anything else except just matching the EQ of what the amp's doing, just not on full volume. I come out of the Blues Power and I go into the Mega Vibe. Modded both the volume pot and the intensity pot on this. You can search online. Many guys have modded these this vibe pedal. I have an old one that I don't want to take out and use, and I was able to get this one pretty close, and I'm really happy with the results, and you'll hear how hard it hits through this two small amp combo. Out of the Mega Vibe, I just go into the EM5, cheap, affordable, really organic Echo. I love it. It seems to be popular. David LA Sound hit me to it, and it's really great. And into the Korg tuner. So that's the pedal board. I wanted to get that out of the way. You can see the tones. I pretty much have everything I need right here, and I'm extremely pleased. So basically, this rig that I came upon consisted of these two smaller wattage Fender combos. This is my 1964 Fender Pro amp that was modified by Cesar Diaz, and this is a 1965 Fender Deluxe Reverb. I will say that Cesar also built in reverb into this amp, so it's essentially the same wattage and the same function and circuitry as a 64 Vibreverb. I will note that Cesar did beef up the output and power transformers in this amp, and he did add a reverb transformer, so this is essentially a Vibreverb circuit. But when you add a larger transformer, like a 100-watt transformer in here like he did, you are able to tighten up the bass overall in the amp. There's less sag, there's less breakup, there's less distortion, so this is a really stout example of what a Vibreverb would be. This amp does have some history to it, and I will get into that further along in another video, but for now we're just going to talk about how it's working in this setup. Running the amp at about 6 or 7, you really get into that Fender breakup zone where it's that nice clean distortion. The highs really sing, and you know, it's still got a fat low tone. In this amp especially, I'm currently running large EVM 15. As far as tubes, I'm running an old pair of Sevigny 6L6s using a solid state rectifier. My vibrato channel tube is pulled, and I'm using a 5751 in both the phase inverter and the V1 slot. Coming over to the 65 Deluxe. This amp is well documented on the channel. I hunted this down at Empire Guitars in Providence. I did some work to it, retubed this. This is running 6 V6s, not 6L6s, 25 watt amp. I have a huge Alltech Lansing speaker in there, and it really makes this Deluxe tighten up, but still crunch up the way I want, you know. I'm using a set of Tungsol power tubes and proper value tubes in each slot. The vibrato tube is left in, the only tube that is removed is the V1. Running these amps together too, I'm using a splitter, Tommy Cougar's Spider he made for me. Just a great passive splitter, and it does the job. No issues with phase or hum. I will mention that when I ran these two amps together, I did have some hum from the Deluxe reverb. Usually it happens when you're running two amps with reverb. I don't know what the case was, but I went to my EBTech HumX, plugged the Deluxe into that, and plugged this into the power, and hum was virtually eliminated. So this is a great, cheap, affordable item, and you can find them on Amazon. I swear by this, it's great. I did tune this rig in with my 59 Strat. Again, this guitar is well documented on here. It's all original electronics. It's been refretted about 4 times. String gauge is Diodario 54 to 10. I think the set goes 54, 38, 28, 17, 50, 17, 14, 10. I really enjoy that. I set it up with 4 springs using the Raw Vintage, and it's my number one. So as you can hear, with nothing in line, this amp is extremely powerful. This amp setup is extremely powerful. It hits very hard and has clarity and punch. What I'm doing here is blending the qualities of each amp. So I know the Deluxe is very crunchy and top end, so I won't lay the bass on heavy. I have a single 12 in there. It's a JBL type speaker, and it'll bring those highs present. The EV powered Pro is a low end 15 amp. So I'll set the volumes the same, but I'll set the EQs to each amp to let them do 2 different things. You know, so a tandem working amp together creates this big, large 3D sound. You're getting one set of tones from this Deluxe that can be pushed and cranked and give you that breakup, but then you're getting this solid, fat, low end from this Pro. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much with nothing in line, and it's hard on the ears, you know. So now I'll show you how the blues power comes in. So with the blues power here, all I'm really doing is taking my original signal and just attenuating it and knocking a dB down. So I've taken my original signal and just basically compressed it and knocked some dB off, and basically took that hard hitting top edge off of it, and it's extremely sweet still on its own. Working in this 2-amp setup, I really just tried to get the most I could out of each amp first. I had both of these amps working to individually their maximum potential, and then built a small pedal board with all the tones I would need. Good quality cables. I like to use Pig Hog cables. I've been using them lately, and they've been great, you know. And that's it. I pretty much found a 3D sound. Smaller wattage, easier on the ears, easier on the back instead of carrying a 410 cab with JBL speakers in it or something like that, you know. These really expensive Cougar heads, they're great, but they're also, you know, they can break glass. That's how hard they hit. So to basically get my sound and my tone into these smaller combos is something I'm really happy about. And it was just a quick run through of what I'm using this year. The good news is I'm looking forward to playing some gigs really soon. Hand is feeling great. I'm going to be out at the Dallas International Guitar Festival, and I think I'm going to be playing a little bit with my buddy Wes Jeans. So if you're not following Wes, go check him out on the socials. I'll put him down below. It's going to be a fun time. I'm excited to play guitar in Dallas. I have a lot of friends there, and it'd be a great time to hit the stage. There's so many amazing artists. I'm so grateful just to be there, let alone get to play a couple of tunes or something, you know. So I'm extremely happy. Channel's been really cool. Some great things are happening. I got some pedals to demo really soon. Many videos are going to come up this weekend, and I got some things I need to talk about. Good things, nothing bad, but I'm excited. Here's my rig rundown for 2019. I hope you guys appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.